Okay, so I know I said we would look at the next page, but actually, before we do that, I want to show you this worksheet, and it says East Side Office Emporium Return Policy. Now, most return policies are written on the back of the receipt, so I don't know. I know the camera is very small, so you really can't see this very well, but that's okay, because I just want to show you just something very simple. But this is an example of a receipt from Ross, and the return policy is on the back, and I know you can't read it, but that's totally fine. I just want to make the point that most stores have their return and exchange policy written on the back of the receipt. So let's go ahead and read the return policy of this store, which looks like it's similar to Office Depot. They sell office things for the office, furniture and supplies. So follow along as I read. If you paid with cash, debit card, or check, and you have your receipt, we will refund your purchase with cash if it was an in-store purchase, or by check if it was an online purchase. Okay, and if your purchase cost more than $500 and you paid with cash, debit card, or check, we will refund your money with a check if you have your receipt. If you paid by credit card and have your receipt, we will credit your account. If you do not have your receipt, we will give you store credit for the current selling price. You must return your purchase in new condition with the original packaging, including manuals and parts. There is a 28-day time limit on all returns. Okay, so there are 4 situations, and you have to determine what type of refund each person will get. So take some time to read through each one and pause the video and then continue when you're finished. This might take some time because you have to really read through and understand the different situations, because there are quite a few situations. Okay, so go ahead and answer these questions and we will look at them together. Okay, so let's look at number 1. 2 weeks ago, Katerina bought an office chair in the store for $85. Now she wants to return it. She has her receipt and she paid by check. What type of refund will she get? So we already know the answer here, but let's take a look at some of the clues. Or some of the information. So we can see that she went in the store, so it was an in-store purchase, right here, in-store purchase, and she has her receipt. Okay, so we can see here that you have your receipt, in-store purchase, and she also paid by check. Okay, and right here, check. Okay, so we can see that she will get a cash refund. Okay, because she was in the store. Now, if she did all the same things, but she paid or she bought the item online, then she would get a check refund. Okay, so now let's look at number 2. 3 weeks ago, Tuan bought a laptop in the store for $695. Now he wants to return it. He doesn't have his receipt. He paid by credit card. What type of refund will he get? Okay, so if you remember, this middle paragraph talks about purchases that cost more than $500. So we can look here, and then he doesn't have his receipt. Okay, so you can see here, if you do not have your receipt, okay, we will give you a store credit for the current selling price. Okay, so in this case, we can just say he will get store credit. He will get store credit. And then number 3, 6 weeks ago, Ramon bought a lamp on the internet for $45. Now he wants to return it. He has his receipt. He paid by credit card. What type of refund will he get? Okay, so if you look here, oh, actually, yeah, right here. Unfortunately, the time limit has passed. So we can write here, he will not get a refund. he will not get a refund, and you can include the reason. Because the time limit has passed. Okay, he will not get a refund because the time limit has passed. As you can see, it says 6 weeks ago, so that's well beyond the 28-day time frame. Okay, and then number 4. Last week, Francesca bought. Oops, sorry about that. Okay, again. Last week, Francesca bought a printer on the internet for $99. Now she wants to return it. She has her receipt and she paid by debit card. What type of refund will she get? Okay, so she's within the time frame because it's just last week, so that's fine. She bought the printer on the internet, so that's an online purchase. So let's check here, and she also has her receipt. Okay, so we can say that she will get a check refund. Okay, so she will get a check refund. Okay, now let's go to our textbook again. Let's go back to our textbook. And we are going to look at our grammar lesson. Clarifying questions, clarifying questions. So what does clarify mean? Clarify. So clarify means to make sure of something. So to confirm if you understood something correctly. Let's take a look really quickly here. It says to ask for clarification of words not heard or understood. Insert a question word into the statement. Okay, so when you're not sure if you heard correctly or if you're not sure if you understood, then you can ask for clarification, often by inserting a question word into the statement. So just before we watch the lesson, I want to make a quick comment. So usually for information questions, we go down. So let's look at this first statement, for example. This is a statement, not a question, but if we were to make a question, we could ask, where did you go? Because it says, I went to the mall. So we could say, where did you go? And we go down. Where did you go? Now, if we make a yes-no question, if you remember, we go up. So we might ask, did you go to the mall? So we go up, as you can see. Yes, I did, or no, I didn't. So for information questions, we normally go down, and for yes-no questions, we go up. But for clarifying questions, and this might be confusing because it looks like an information question. It's not a yes-no question, but we go up. So I'm sorry, we can ask, you went where? And sometimes we can even ask the information question, but go up. So we could actually say, where did you go? So instead of, where did you go? If we want to clarify, we can even say, where did you go? So as you can see, tone is so important. So if we go up or down, that can show or indicate what you want to find out or why you want to find it out. So tones are also really important. Okay, so let's watch the grammar lesson.
Grammar Connections. Unit 7, Lesson F. Clarifying questions. Watch and listen. To ask for clarification of words not heard or understood, insert a question word into the statement. Statement.
I went to the mall.
Clarifying question.
You went where?
Statement.
There was a sale last weekend.
Clarifying question.
There was a sale when?
Statement.
I bought some t-shirts.
Clarifying question.
You bought some what?
Statement.
They were $20 each.
Clarifying question.
They were how much?
Statement.
I bought 5 of them.
Clarifying question.
You bought how many?
Statement.
They're for my sister.
Clarifying question.
They're for who?
Check your understanding. Look at the picture and the statement. Listen.
I went to the mall.
Now complete the clarifying question. Listen to the clarifying question.
You went where?
There was a sale last weekend.
There was a sale when?
I bought some t-shirts.
You bought some what?
They were $20 each.
They were how much?
I bought 5 of them.
You bought how many?
They're for my sister.
They're for who?
Let's review. Statement. Clarifying question.
I went to the mall.
You went where?
There was a sale last weekend.
There was a sale when?
I bought some shirts.
You bought some what?
They were $20 each.
They were how much?
I bought 5 of them.
You bought how many?
They're for my sister.
They're for who?
Okay, so let me make a couple more comments. Now, people also commonly use the word wait in front of clarifying questions. So we might say, wait, you went where? Or wait, there was a sale when? So if you hear your kids talk, you might hear them say that a lot. Or if you watch TV shows, they often use wait in front of clarifying questions. And then also, let me make a comment about this one. Therefore, who? Now, as you can see, who is asking about the object, my sister. Now, as you know, the object form of object pronoun should be whom. But, of course, as I mentioned before, in informal English, we don't really use whom. So as you can see, it uses who. So officially and when we use formal English, we should say whom. But again, as I mentioned, in casual conversational English, we always use who. Okay, so for the next activity, we're going to do this paragraph. We're going to complete it. Now, it says to work with a partner, but if that's difficult, then you can just complete it, and after you finish the story, then you can go back and ask a clarifying question after every sentence. So let's look at the example. I needed to buy a laptop case. So for number one, let's say we use the same word, same thing. I needed to buy a laptop case. So you can ask, you needed to buy what? A laptop case. Okay, and so maybe you could say, so I went to Best Buy. Okay, so this is a where question. So you can ask, you went where? And then you can just make a short answer, Best Buy. Okay, so go ahead and complete the story, and you don't have to use this conversation. You can just make your own conversation. So when you're finished, make sure to make clarifying questions after every sentence as well. Okay, you can pause it and continue when you're finished. Okay, so just as an example, I'm going to go ahead and complete the story using the same laptop case conversation. So we could continue and say, I got there at 6 o'clock. So we can ask, you got there when? Okay, at 6 o'clock. And then I couldn't find any, so I talked to the Geek Squad. So if you've been to Best Buy before, The team that helps you with any technological problems, tech-related problems, is called the Geek Squad. And geek is a word that means like someone who really likes gadgets and technology and some other things too, but mainly technology and gadgets. So squad, you might have heard that word before, SQUAD. Squad is a word that also means group. So Geek Squad means a group of people who like to work with technology and gadgets. So that's actually the name of the tech support group at Best Buy. Okay, so anyway, I can ask, you talked to who? All right, and then the next sentence, that person told me to go to the computer accessories section. He told you to go where? And then finally, I found one. It only cost $9. It cost how much? I didn't buy just one. I bought 3. You bought how many? I took them home and showed them to my husband. You showed them to who? He said, you could have gotten them for cheaper on Amazon. He said, what? Okay, so I hope that was helpful. We are going to go ahead and look at a worksheet. So you can go ahead and go to part 3 of this video, part 3.